Welcome back. We have an amazing guest. He is the executive producer of a documentary on a very important topic. It's called Paradise Paradox, and it highlights mental health issues in mountain towns like ours here in Vail. Welcome, Brett.
Thanks. Great to be here.
So I'm going to talk all about your film, Paradise Paradox, in a moment. But first, I want to show the viewers the trailer so they can see what it's about.
I think people move to mountain towns for the freedom, the adventure.
The most beautiful thing about this community is that it's for everybody.
Every mountain town you go to, you either have these super high highs or super low lows, and the whole town rides these waves.
Tourism is the lifeblood of our community because we work where people come to play.
It's party all the time.
The camaraderie we get through climbing mountains, paddling rivers.
There's a thrill to living on the edge, something that really makes you feel alive and feel like you're living every day to the most.
Oh my God!
There's a part of it that feels rebellious and a part of it that feels like you're going back to how we should live, spending more time with the land.
The only time I've ever felt true silence is at the top of the mountain.
I get to work with the best people in the most gorgeous place in the world. We love doing what we do. And I realized that you can be in the most beautiful place in the world and not be sure if you want to wake up the next morning.
The Mountain West is home to some of the most happy states in the country. Yet our suicide rates are sometimes double, triple, even quadruple the national average.
It is dark and sometimes invisible. This epidemic of suicide is a major public health concern and is among the
We have a true epidemic of serious mental health concerns in our young teens and early adults here.
My daughter, she had 6 classmates who had attempted suicide, and no one was talking about it.
Eagle County, Colorado is a microcosm for the United States. Mountain towns have challenges that are sort of amplified, but they are the challenges of our country.
I haven't brought this out in a while.
It's hard for us to ask for help.
Gotta do something. Can't keep losing our friends and our brothers and our mothers to suicide.
You know, we want to help. We want it to stop. So sorry.
I think some people may have moved here running from things that they weren't adequately coping with before they got here, thinking that this would somehow or another make all of that go away. And until you fundamentally address the problem, you can run, but you can't hide.
It's the one thing in life that we can all relate to. More than anything else in the world, we can all relate to struggle.
We're pretty fortunate in that the product is the mountain, but it's also the people. Without the people, there is no experience, there is no product.
We have an obligation to be part of solutions around mental health.
You guys know you get free therapy, right?
I cannot believe how fast this is going up. Together, my father and I are the lead funders on the Pre-Court Healing Center.
Every person has a common tie to behavioral health.
My great hope is that what we do here becomes in some ways a blueprint for what can be done more largely in the United States.
We have come together as a community to take steps in the right direction to tackle the issue of behavioral health. Together, we're creating profound change, and we're just getting started.
You might struggle with it your whole life, but there's hope for you.
Wow, what a powerful film. Brett, what was your impetus? What was the driving force behind wanting to make this film?
Sure. I mean, mental health is obviously something that affects all of us. It's something that's personal to me, and I've lost close friends and family over the years. And then, several years ago, we embarked on a project. It started out with interviewing the captain of the Olympic bobsled team, Stephen Holcomb. And unfortunately, he passed away just a couple weeks following that interview from an overdose. And it evolved into a film called The Weight of Gold. We partnered with Michael Phelps. You can see the poster behind me. And we ended up recruiting Shaun White and my old friend Bode Miller and a lot of other incredible athletes to tell their stories. And we really saw it make a huge impact. It came out during kind of peak COVID, July 2020, when they couldn't even hold an Olympics. And it just reached so many people, and I think affected so many people, we decided to do more. So that was really the genesis of this project, was, learning about some of the serious issues that mountain communities like yours are dealing with, and wanting to make something that could be a part of the solution.
And the statistics are staggering. I mean, just to see what kinds of numbers we have as far as suicide and depression in mountain towns is much higher than the national averages. And it is paradoxical because, like I said, here in Vail, it's beautiful, it's idyllic, it's gorgeous scenery everywhere. Why do you think people in these small communities are dealing with this crisis?
Yeah, I mean, we get into that a good bit in the film to try to explain that. Wherever you go, there you are. And I think a lot of people, move to communities like yours to try to get away from, things not being happy in cities and certain places. But it's not necessarily a panacea. And I think in these mountain communities, you have sort of a confluence of a number of difficult things. You've got a party culture, substance abuse, which is a huge factor. You've got isolation, you've got a lot of gun ownership, and you've got a lack of resources. And I think, one of the main stories in the film is you get to see Chris Lindley and his team there in Eagle Valley, who, with the support of some largely local benefactors, have built a program that we think is best in class, and we hope can continue to inspire programs like that across the country.
Amazing. And one of the tragedies that you highlighted in this film, Olivia, a young girl, she took her own life at the age of 13. And as much as that was a tragedy, it got people in the community motivated to rally and get more resources in Eagle County. That's really inspiring to hear. And, some of the reasons why people can't get help is because it might be too expensive or they don't have access to it. What do you say about all of the resources that have come in as a result of some of these tragedies?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I guess, a wonderful thing when a tragedy can inspire something positive. I mean, like I mentioned about our film, The Weight of Gold, the tragedy of an Olympian, passing away inspired, a film and a movement around it. So I think that whenever there's something like Olivia and what happened with her, and I've gotten to meet her mother numerous times now, I think that's hopefully tragedy can sometimes inspire positive things.
Well, thank you for all of the important work that you've done. This is a very important topic, and you're shedding light on it so that other people can open up and not feel stigmatized by reaching out for help and needing mental health support. So thank you. Where can people see this film?
Yeah, they go to paradiseparadox.com. We have a website up. There's an opportunity there to host a free screening for your community. That can be 100 people, it can be 3 people. We provide the film, free of charge, along with a discussion guide, so that people can come together. And we've had, I think, close to 10,000 people have gotten together with their communities to watch the film and talk about the subject matter, and most importantly, discuss solutions. And like you said, not feel stigma, because everybody deals with their mental health and everybody goes through challenges. And I think we're have a positive movement going on right now that we're glad to be a part of, that is hopefully changing this paradigm forever.
Thank you so much, Brett. It was a pleasure talking with you. I hope everyone goes out and sees this film. It's very eye-opening, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.